I could probably eat pancakes every morning for the rest of my life. These are protein pancakes. Each one's got about 77 calories and 10 grams of protein. Not too bad if you ask me. I prepped a giant batch of them to keep in my freezer. That way it only takes a few seconds to reheat in the mornings and have breakfast ready to go. Here's how I did it. I like to use oat flour in recipes like this. It's gluten-free, it's cheap, it's got a decent amount of fiber. All you need to do is throw oats into a blender and process them down into a powder. If you don't want to do this, you can just buy it pre-ground at the store, or I don't think you'd have an issue if you just use regular old all-purpose flour. This recipe is going to make you about 35 6-inch pancakes. Place a large bowl over a digital scale, and to it, add 4 scoops or 125 grams of vanilla casein protein powder, 4 scoops or 125 grams of vanilla whey protein powder, 1 2/3 cups or 200 grams of oat flour, 3/4 of a cup or 100 grams of cornstarch, 1.5 teaspoons or 6 grams of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of baking soda. Some people like to add salt to things like this to help balance the sweetness. I think that's baloney. I don't like doing it, so I'm going to fake it. But I want to mention it because I realize I'm in the minority here. Whisk all of the powders together so that no clumps remain and everything is equally distributed. Now for the wet ingredients. Add in 2.5 cups or 600 grams of liquid egg whites. You can also use an equal weight of whole eggs. Then add about 3 1/3 cups or 750 grams of plain non-fat Greek yogurt and 1 cup or 240 grams of water. Give the bowl another big whisk to incorporate all those powders into the liquids and make sure everything is well hydrated. Sometimes those powders can get stuck in dry pockets, so take a rubber spatula and scrape down the sides and the bottom to make sure everything gets stirred in. Once it's all mixed in, I'm going to allow this to sit for 10 to 15 minutes to thicken up, and this is going to help a bit with getting a fluffier pancake. Getting a pancake to rise and stay fluffy with the absence of gluten is not the easiest thing to achieve, but this is going to help a small amount. Once your batter is rested, you can begin to cook your pancakes. If you have an electric griddle or a cast iron griddle that goes over your stove where you can cook 8 to 10 pancakes at once, you should use it. It's going to allow you to complete this process at least 5 times faster. Heat your skillet or griddle over medium heat, spray it with a bit of oil, and then add the batter and cook like you would any old pancake. 5 to 6 inches is the size that I shot for. If you want them bigger or smaller, go for it. Lay out a sheet pan with a wire rack on top to help the pancakes cool once they come out of the skillet. You guys who have watched my previous videos know that this induction burner that I use is one of my biggest rivals. I hate it. The heating element on this thing is the size of a dime, as you can see by this half-browned pancake. I was thinking, I can easily fit 3 pancakes in this wonderful 13-inch stove skillet, and the induction burner said, yeah, you know what, I think you're going to make one at a time and you're going to like it. Once again, old Joshy Pots and Pans gets punked by the induction burner. I ended up starting a second skillet over the real stove in the back so I didn't have to cook one at a time because that would have taken me all day. Now while these cakes cook, let me answer a question that I'm sure many of you have right now. I don't have any casein, can I make these pancakes using only whey? To me the answer is no. Casein and whey are 2 different ingredients. They have different protein structures and when they interact with water, they behave differently. Having the casein in there is what's going to allow these pancakes to be soft and moist. If you use only whey, they're going to end up dry. Now that being said, anytime I've posted this recipe, there's always a couple of comments from people saying, I made this using only whey and they still turned out great. I would caution you from doing that. To me, they're not good. Now, if I go back in time to when I was 22 and I tried making these with only whey, I probably would have thought they were the greatest things on the planet because all I cared about back then was getting an adequate protein. Now that I'm a little bit older, my tolerance for that kind of stuff has gone down. So let this serve as your warning. I don't think these pancakes are very good made without casein. Other people say it's fine. Proceed at your own risk. As I was going through these pancakes, I thought to myself, I've seen people bake pancakes in the oven before. I wonder if I can put this on a sheet pan and then cut them up afterwards and make this process go even faster. So I tried it. It was a disaster. Nothing in the history of man has ever stuck harder to something than this pancake stuck to the baking sheet. Forget the force that holds the nucleus of atoms together. This is stronger. And if we're being fair and objective, I deserve the Nobel Prize in Physics for discovering this. The moral of the story, shortcut didn't work. Stick to the griddle or skillet. When your pancakes are all cooked and they're nicely laid out on a sheet pan, you can move that into the freezer and allow it to freeze uncovered until they are frozen solid. If you have an upright freezer and don't have the space to lay a sheet pan down, you may need to stack them up on some plates. The reason I freeze them uncovered is so they don't get smushed by the vacuum sealer and all stick together in one big bunch. Everything I put into Snack City gets vacuum sealed first, and the Zwilling Fresh and Safe vacuum system is what I've been using for a couple of years now. The whole point of Snack City is to provide you with easy access to snacks that can last you for weeks or months at a time. Part of that equation is 1, storing things properly to prevent freezer burn and keeping your snacks fresher for longer, and 2, having access to those snacks so you can grab out a small portion at a time. The nice thing about these Fresh and Safe bags is that it allows you to do just that. With the zip top, you can open and close the bags, and with the vacuum pump, you can reseal and re-vacuum them as many times as you need. With other vacuum sealers, once you cut open the bag, you're kind of in trouble in terms of resealing. Freezer burn is your #1 enemy for Snack City, and what allows freezer burn to occur is when air and moisture get into your food. The exact product that I use is called the Zwilling Fresh and Safe Vacuum Starter Set, and Zwilling is offering TMPM Nation 10 extra medium bags for free when you use the code MEALPREP at checkout. They also just launched their Cube Collection, which is their dry food storage system. It's what I kept the oat flour in, and it makes this cool little tornado when you release the air. Sick! There's a link in the description to check out the vacuum set. Thanks to Zwilling for sponsoring the video. Once all of your pancakes are safely tucked away in their storage containers, you can move them into Snack City in your freezer. Now let's talk a bit of numbers. Here's what it cost me to make these pancakes. I took all the ingredients I used, calculated how much they cost per gram, multiplied that number by how much I use in the recipe, and that gave me my total. For the ingredients used, it cost $19.37, and I made 35 of them, which brings it to about 55 cents each. The total cost for me to purchase all of the ingredients was $127.51, and I know that sounds like a lot, but 99 of it was in the protein powders, and I've got 10 pounds of them here. Obviously, purchasing in bulk is going to save you money on a per gram basis, but it's going to cost you more up front. You could find a product that's a 50-50 blend of whey and casein in a smaller quantity to lessen the total cost. When you're ready to reheat some pancakes, all I do is grab them out of the freezer, crack open a bag, place them onto a plate, and microwave them for about a minute to a minute and a half. I yielded 35 pancakes out of this recipe, which will bring my nutritional estimates to about 77 calories and 10.3 grams of protein per pancake. If you made more or less than 35, there's a calculator on my website where you can enter how many you made and it will spit out the nutritional estimates for your total. Once they come out of the microwave heated up, I top them with a couple tablespoons of syrup and then they're ready to eat. For another quick note on the cost of this recipe, the total amount for all the ingredients I used was $19.37. With 359 grams of total protein in the recipe, that brings you to about 5.4 cents per gram of protein. Now compare that to buying a pound of chicken breast for $4.99. The total cost per gram of protein there would be about 5.2 cents. Not too bad. These pancakes really aren't that time consuming to make fresh each morning, but having the extra convenience of keeping them in your freezer just makes it that much easier. I find the real benefit comes at night when you say, "Oh, I'm so hungry and I want a snack, but I don't want to do any dishes and I don't want to cook." Having these in the freezer are perfect for times like that. The full written version for how to meal prep these protein pancakes is published on my website, and that's linked down below in the description. I truly think these are the best protein pancakes on the internet, and I hope if you try them, you enjoy them as much as I do. If you like this video, make sure to check out the protein waffle version linked here. Sayonara, kiddos.